Hey guys, Eryk Williamson here with Trey Mancini, just sitting down having a conversation. Yeah, so how'd you get into soccer?
I always loved it growing up. To tell you the truth, I mean, I loved football, playing pickup football, but of all the pickup sports, when I was at school and everything, soccer was my favorite one to play. I never really played competitively growing up, except one day when I was in the 6th grade. My best friend's team didn't have enough people, so they plucked me off the sideline to be the goalie. It was one of the most fun I've had, but I let up 6 goals. We lost 6-5. It was a tough performance, so I knew I didn't have a future in soccer then. But ever since then, yeah, I've been a huge fan. My girlfriend played college soccer at American for 2 years. And, so she loves it, and she really got me into it too when we started dating a couple years ago. So, yeah, I love it, and it's just such a great game.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely helps during the, when quarantine happened, you can see Prem games, and you can see, Christian, you can see some of these guys that were playing. So it was, massive for the sport to be kind of, being one of the first ones back, and
Yeah, it was big, and I'd say I was a fan before, but it like really reignited it, I'd say too.
Right.
And did you follow baseball a lot growing up, or?
Baseball was one of the sports that I actually didn't play. My oldest brother played every sport, and the moment I was born, it's like, oh, he's playing soccer, and it's like, well, I guess I'm playing soccer now, and it just happened to work out. But I know, whenever it came to, like a kickball or a baseball tournament, it's always like I'm first in line. It's like I'm swinging, about to throw my back out. My mom's like, hey, Eryk, why'd your back hurt? And I was swinging the bat too hard, Mom. The little wiffle balls, and it was just, a lot of fun there. But I mean, I wish we were a little closer to Baltimore growing up. Once the Nats came in, it was kind of like, oh, well, this is the new team. It's
and it's a little easier to get to
and it's
Park,
now
probably,
let's just stick to trying to get out to Baltimore. So
love that.
Brother moved out to Baltimore, and we became Baltimore fanatics. So my biggest question for you, it's been read your story a little bit. Take me through it. Where was your mind at? I think that's the biggest thing in my career, especially is the mental side of it. I know that it was deeper than that, but I just was curious to where your mind is at, where your thoughts were at going through your career and your journey.
Yeah, it was tough. When I was diagnosed with cancer last year, the baseball was probably one of the last things on my mind, surprisingly, because it had basically been my whole life up until that point. And when you hear that you have cancer, and at that point when I found out, I didn't know if it had spread anywhere or what the situation was. So, I was scared to death. I wasn't thinking about baseball. At that point, I was just thinking I want to live a long life no matter what it is. If I don't play baseball again, that's fine. But I want to, be able to have kids one day. My girlfriend and I had just started dating about 4 or 5 months before, and things were going really well. But getting diagnosed with cancer, is huge. It can kind of be fight or flight mode for the relationship, and luckily, it brought us even closer together than I could have even imagined. But, so all of that kind of took precedence over baseball. So it was really tough. It was a tough 7 months, but after chemotherapy was over, and luckily I'd found out that it, was contained to my colon, and even though I had to do chemo, I had a decent shot of recovering and things like that. Then baseball kind of came back into the picture, and like I said, baseball was always if I ever had a problem in life, it was baseball related. It was a baseball slump, things like that. So it was a whole different perspective on life, for sure.
For sure.
Yeah.
You could never, imagine or expect, something is, a big ball to be dropped, on your plate. So I think all credit to you, because my biggest thought, in that situation becomes, you start worrying about your profession, you start worrying about your job, but it's massive that you were, able to just think about, just push it to the side and say, listen, if it comes back, it comes back. And I think that's another thing is, were you worried coming back that it would, maybe you weren't going to be the same player, the same, level that you're playing at.
Mm-hmm. And I came back this year, and really I was trying too hard to be the same player, because I had a great year in 2019, and I thought that I could pick right up there and just keep going. But I don't think I thought enough or gave enough credit to what I went through the year before. I just expected to be the same guy, but the recovery took a long time. I had to rebuild myself this past off season, and it was tough. So the first few weeks were a little tough, and then when I stopped trying to be the same guy, I kind of became the same guy. By accepting that I might not be the same player I was before, things like that, the performance started to pick up a little bit. So, like you said, the mental game is the biggest thing for us, in my opinion. We have the physical tools to succeed, and you can elaborate on that more too. But yeah, the mental side is something I'm still trying to master, and when I do master it, because I'll go a few weeks of being really good on the mental side of the game, and my performance is great. But then, whenever my thoughts start taking over and I'm trying to do too much, I don't know if you ever read the book Inner Game of Tennis before, but he talks about basically we have two selves. There's like self one, is the ego, and we try to tell ourselves what to do. We get mad at ourselves, and then self two is kind of the unconscious, the part of us that knows what it's doing.
Right.
So whenever we let self two take over, we're pretty good. So I'm sure you can probably say the same thing.
For sure.
I know we play different sports, but I think for any athlete, that's how it is.
I mean, you just look at so many things, especially in our game. It's as simple as, crossing a ball or,
hitting
a long ball. It's like if you overthink it, you start to, then that's when you mishit it. If you are overthinking, okay, I need to do this, I need to overplay, then that's when, you get that side that, is making mistakes, not doing what you're good at. And I think that's the biggest thing in our game, as you said, is a mental side of it. And, I've seen a couple of sports psychologists that, I'm making sure that I'm checked in certain moments, whether it's, checking in of a game or, just totally checking out of the sport as a whole and just kind of getting that time to, just refresh. And then, off seasons for us, I think are pretty similar. They're a few months, and it allows us to, take the break physically. And I think that's a big thing as well that I think in my career I've, had it, I've taken advantage of. I just totally disconnect, 2-3 weeks where it's okay, just sit on the couch and, just watch the NBA.
Yeah, maybe go on vacation or something.
Exactly. So I think that's the biggest thing for us. But I mean, I know that, we don't have the same demands as you guys. And I know that, the back-to-back nights, the on the road for, I think you guys are here for
three games.
And it's
The one thing though is your games are a little more taxing than ours. I must say. Like I'm pretty sure I'm DHing tonight, so I get to chill a lot of the night, and then I just go up and hit 4 or 5 times. So it's not the same as playing a 90+ minute match where you're running all over the place. But it is a lot. I mean, 162 games is a lot. So we have to take care of our bodies, everything like that.
For sure. How is your kind of relationship kind of work on the road? Do they get to travel a lot, or?
Yes. So at the beginning of the year this year, our significant others and families, if they wanted to come, they weren't allowed to stay in the same hotel because the pandemic was still going on. It still is, but the vaccine hadn't been widely distributed, everything like that. So once everybody got vaccinated, they loosened the rules up, and now, Sarah, my girlfriend, can come on the road and kind of go to whatever game she wants and stuff. But she works too. She works for NBC Sports, so she's got a busy schedule as well. So she's been traveling a lot, and luckily she gets like a little break right now. But during the season we make it work. We do great with it. But so the off season is nice where you get to just kind of be settled in one place.
Yeah, exactly.
We travel a lot.
No, for sure, for sure. I mean, you guys travel a little more than us, but I mean, does your girlfriend ever, shoot your games or work your games where?
No, she doesn't. She used to work for the Orioles a few years ago, and then she left for NBC, and that's actually when I asked her out, was after she left. I had a crush on her for a couple of years, and always thought she was really, really great girl. And so she doesn't work our games. She actually is able to work from home this year.
Okay. That's nice.
So it's nice. She does her show from home. So it's mostly about navigating our dog. Trying to get our dog to like the dog sitter during her show. And if I'm home, I'll watch the dog. But
what kind of dog do you have?
So we rescued her last year. She's a Terrier Lab Cocker Spaniel mix. Yeah. Do you have a dog?
I've been wanting to get one. I'm like right there. I'm like, once I moved to Portland, I was really, really into dogs. I started dog sitting, everyone's, walking dogs and everything. But I lived in an apartment, single guy, it was hard to have a dog. It was going to get a little pricey. So it turned into a lot of dog walking, a lot of dog sitting. And it's like, hey, can I pay you? I'm like, no, like this is for my pleasure.
Yeah, that's the way to do it.
Looking at me weird, and it's like,
and that way, and you get the time with the dogs, but
exactly,
because we got our dog when she was 8 weeks old. It is hard work, and we did it because the pandemic hit, and I was going through chemotherapy and we were home all day. So like we got the dog, that was the time to do it if we were ever going to. So I'm so happy we did, but it would be really hard, especially with our lifestyle traveling everywhere.
Exactly.
It would be really tough.
Yeah. No, for sure.
Yeah, man. So, you excited for the match Sunday?
Yeah. I think it's a quicker turnaround. Especially in the pandemic, we've turned into these, Wednesday, Saturday, Wednesday, Sunday games, which is a little more taxing on our bodies.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's not a ton of recovery time.
It's like a quick turnaround, but I think we've gotten in the norm of it. We're starting to know what's good for our bodies. I'm doing cryotherapy when I can. We're getting float sessions with the national team. It's been a lot of different tools that you didn't need or didn't know of or didn't really need before. It's you can have the week preparation, be good, but I think with qualifying this fall, it's going to be the same kind of schedule, every 2 or 3 days. So I think it's good getting in a rhythm of play one game, recover, and try and get your best performance again on the weekend. So. And
then qualifying, is it a home and away match against all the teams?
Yeah.
Okay.
Going through countries and. Yeah, so that's.
Oh my gosh, yeah, that's.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun times.
Yeah, I know. I can't wait to watch. And that's like when our season's winding down too. And, yeah, I can't wait. I'm so excited, man.
For sure.
Yeah, I'm really excited. Yeah, maybe once my season ends, I'll look at your schedule whenever you guys are playing teams in the U.S. If it's around where we're gonna be, I would love to.
For sure.
Yeah, I think we might go to Southern California this off season. Actually, my girlfriend and I, we're gonna switch it up a little, go out there and. Check it out. Just see how we like it.
Are you guys wine people? Wine drinkers?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Me, that's what. So I'm actually dating someone on our women's team, and
really?
She's huge into wine, and I think that's the biggest thing. Being in Oregon, there's a lot of vineyards, there's a lot of different wineries. So
so we're gonna sneak up to like Napa. I know, and exactly. I really want to go to Oregon. I always have.
Yeah.
So.
Portland's a beautiful place. I had never been to Portland before I went out there.
We're kind of East Coast guys.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You're kind of shipped out to Portland. You're like, well, what's this? But I fell in love with the city. Summertime is just unreal. Other than that, it's a lot of rain. But I've managed to kind of get through that part where it's like you just take a rain jacket, it'll rain for 10 minutes, you take it off.
Yeah, and, it's kind of like Florida summer storms. Yeah,
exactly.
So
we were in the boat in Orlando, and that was rough. Talk about.
Yeah, how was the bubble tournament?
It was an interesting one. We actually won the tournament. So we showed up, I think, 5 or so days after every other team. We're like, okay, we don't play until I think it was the 13th. So we show up on the 5th. We started getting into the games, and it was just so hot. It was not Portland. It was humid. We're like, we're all gonna pass out. We're not gonna do this. And it's like. We go out, we win our first 2 games, put us in a good spot. I think we tied our last game, and then it was just kind of like win or go home. And, we have guys with, 3 kids, 4 kids, and like, listen, if we're going to be here, like, let's just win the game.
Yeah, exactly. So
it's just like.
Yeah, if you get to a certain point,
exactly.
You might as well win it.
You make it to the playoff, and like in playoff round, you're like, well, the moment we lose, we fly out the next day.
Yeah.
So it's like, if we're going to be here, like, let's just win it.
Yeah.
So.
And the entire time it was going on, I thought that like they condensed the season and made that the MLS Cup. I knew there was like the welcome back tournament, but I thought it was still a big deal.
Yeah, no,
but it was again like extremely welcome entertainment for all of us who were quarantined and everything like that. I really loved watching it.
No, it was definitely one. And then like towards the end, it's like every team that lost just went home. So it was just. We have like 5 teams.
Yeah, like everybody was dropping like 5.
So it's like we have a whole hotel, and it's like, where's everyone? Before it was like a ton of people, but winning it was good, and I think it was good for our team. So
awesome, love that. Oh yeah, and you got the black. This is by far our best jersey too, I think. So
I was trying to throw it in. I was like, I think I want the black. I think I want the black, but.
Oh man, I wish we had your last name on this one.
I wanted to definitely rock the Mancini, so it was. We talked about this one. We talked about this one, but yeah.
All right.
Give me this one.
Yes, sir. Hey, good luck Sunday, man.
Thank you.
Pleasure to meet you.
Good luck tonight, man.
Yeah, thank you.